Have you ever noticed that the more you chase something, the farther it seems to slip from your grasp? Perhaps it's success at work, inner peace, or even the approval of others. The harder you push, the more resistance you seem to encounter. This paradox is one of life's most intriguing truths, beautifully encapsulated by Zen and Buddhist philosophy. When you let go of obsessive striving, you open the door to unexpected achievements and profound transformations. But how do you let go when the stakes feel so high? This article explores the art of letting go, inspired by a timeless tale of a young monk's journey toward enlightenment. His story is not just one of personal transformation, but of universal wisdom that applies to all of us. Whether you're seeking peace, success, or clarity, the monk's lessons show that surrendering to the process can often yield results beyond imagination. Along the way, we'll also explore practical ways to embrace this principle in modern life and discover how letting go can lead to surprising breakthroughs. But before we dive deeper, let's ask an essential question. Why does chasing something so fervently often lead to frustration instead of fulfillment? Imagine holding a handful of sand. If you clutch it tightly, most of the grains slip through your fingers. But if you hold it gently, the sand remains in your hand. Life operates in much the same way. When we cling too tightly to outcomes, whether it's a promotion, a relationship, or a personal goal, we create tension and resistance. This tension clouds our clarity and often pushes the very thing we desire out of reach. This truth is vividly illustrated by the tale of a young monk who sought enlightenment with unwavering determination. Day after day, he meditated by a serene waterfall, forcing his mind to focus, his breath to slow, and his thoughts to vanish. Yet, no matter how hard he tried, peace eluded him. Frustrated, he confided in his master, who offered a simple but profound observation. Your mind is like a clenched fist. The tighter you grip, the less you achieve. The master's words may seem counterintuitive at first. Isn't effort the key to success? Isn't striving the path to growth? To answer these questions, the master shared a story that would forever change the monk's perspective. There was once a farmer plagued by a relentless drought. Every day, he prayed for rain, dug trenches, and lamented his misfortune. Despite his efforts, the skies remained clear, and his fields lay barren. One day, a wise wanderer passed through the farmer's land and offered unexpected advice. Stop chasing the rain, tend to the soil, nurture the seeds, and let the sky decide. Though skeptical, the farmer followed the wanderer's guidance. He shifted his focus from the sky to the earth, enriching the soil and caring for his crops. To his astonishment, the rains eventually came, bringing a bountiful harvest. The wanderer's lesson was clear. When you stop grasping at what you cannot control, you make room for miracles to unfold. Inspired by the story, the young monk began to reflect on his own practice. Was he, like the farmer, chasing rain? Was his relentless striving creating the very obstacles he sought to overcome? Determined to embrace the art of letting go, he resolved to meditate not for the sake of results, but simply to be present. As the monk began his journey of non-attachment, he quickly discovered that letting go was easier said than done. Each time he sat in meditation, his mind would drift to thoughts like, "Am I doing this right?" Or, "When will I find peace?" Day after day, he wrestled with his expectations, doubted his master's wisdom, and grew increasingly restless. One afternoon, while tending the temple garden, the monk observed a butterfly struggling to emerge from its cocoon. Moved by compassion, he considered helping it, but his master intervened. "If you interfere," the master warned, "the butterfly will never gain the strength it needs to fly. Let it struggle. It is through the struggle that transformation happens." The monk saw a parallel to his own journey. Just as the butterfly could not be forced into flight, enlightenment could not be forced into being. It had to unfold naturally, in its own time. Nature became the monk's greatest teacher. He marveled at the effortless flow of the waterfall, which did not strain or struggle to reach the river below. He admired the trees, which stood tall not by forcing their growth, but by patiently drawing nourishment from the earth. And he learned from the seasons, which transitioned seamlessly from one to the next without resistance or haste. Inspired by these observations, the monk began to shift his approach. Instead of meditating to achieve peace, he meditated simply to be present. Instead of striving for perfection, he allowed himself to be imperfect. At first, nothing seemed to change, but over time, subtle shifts began to occur. His breath grew deeper, his thoughts quieter, and his heart lighter. He no longer measured his progress or sought validation. He simply sat, like the waterfall he had admired, flowing without effort. One day, as he sat in meditation, he experienced an overwhelming sense of stillness. It was as if the entire forest had merged with his being. The boundaries between himself and the world dissolved, and a profound realization arose. Peace was never something to be achieved. It was always within him, waiting to be uncovered. The monk's journey offers timeless wisdom for navigating the challenges of modern life. Here are 3 practical ways to embrace the art of letting go. 1. Focus on the process, not the outcome. Whether you're working toward a promotion, training for a marathon, or building a relationship, shift your focus from the end goal to the present moment. Find joy in the steps you take, and trust that the results will follow. 2. Release the need for control. Life is full of uncertainties. Instead of clinging to rigid expectations, embrace flexibility and trust the natural flow of events. As the Master said, tend to your inner soil, and the harvest will come in its own time. 3. Practice patience and faith. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, your efforts may take time to bear fruit. Trust in the process and resist the urge to force results. As the monk's transformation unfolded, his newfound wisdom began to influence every aspect of his life. From tending the temple garden to teaching younger monks, he discovered that letting go was not just a practice but a way of being. In the next section, we'll explore how the monk applied these principles to his daily life and the profound impact it had on those around him. We'll also delve into more parables and analogies that illustrate the surprising power of surrender. But before we continue, take a moment to reflect. Where in your life are you clinging too tightly? What would happen if you loosened your grip and trusted the process? As we move forward, keep these questions in mind. They may hold the key to your own transformation. As we transition into the second part of this exploration into the art of letting go, let's take a deeper dive into the practical lessons, stories, and wisdom that reveal how releasing attachments can transform our lives. In the first part, we delved into the monk's journey of discovery, from the frustration of clinging to results to the profound peace of surrendering to the moment. Now, we'll expand on these teachings, exploring their relevance to our modern lives, introducing fresh examples, and uncovering actionable steps to practice non-attachment in everyday situations. One of the biggest hurdles to letting go is the mind's relentless attachment to expectations. Expectations are not inherently bad. They guide us, motivate us, and give us a sense of purpose. However, when expectations become rigid or overly specific, they can create suffering. Think about it. How often have you experienced disappointment not because something terrible happened, but because reality didn't align with your expectations? Imagine planning a weekend getaway. You envision perfect weather, seamless travel, and relaxing moments by the beach. But when the trip arrives, the weather turns stormy, your flight is delayed, and the resort's Wi-Fi doesn't work. Disappointment sets in, not because you're on a bad trip, but because it didn't meet your mental script. Buddhist philosophy teaches that this form of suffering arises from tanha, or craving. When we cling to how things should be, we resist the flow of life. The solution? Practice non-attachment to outcomes while remaining engaged in the process. Enjoy the journey, rain or shine, and accept the imperfections of reality. Non-attachment is often misunderstood as apathy or indifference. In reality, it's about engaging deeply in the present moment without becoming enslaved by the desire for a specific result. This mindset allows you to experience life fully, savoring its richness without being weighed down by unmet expectations. The Tale of the Musician. A famous story tells of a master musician who was invited to perform for a prestigious audience. During his performance, a string on his instrument broke. Instead of stopping or panicking, the musician adjusted his technique and continued playing, improvising beautifully around the missing string. His performance received a standing ovation, not because it was flawless, but because it was alive and spontaneous. The musician's ability to adapt came from his non-attachment to perfection. When we embrace presence over perfection, we create space for creativity, resilience, and joy. Life's broken strings no longer derail us. Instead, they become opportunities for improvisation. In part 1, we encountered the image of a butterfly struggling to emerge from its cocoon, a reminder that growth requires struggle. This lesson carries an essential message: trust the process. Growth, healing, and transformation unfold in their own time. Think about planting a seed. Once you've placed it in the soil, you don't dig it up every day to check its progress. You water it, provide sunlight, and trust that nature will take care of the rest. Similarly, in life, we must nurture our efforts and allow time for results to manifest. Impatience and over-control can stunt progress, much like overwatering a plant. Applying the principle of letting go in relationships can be one of the most challenging yet rewarding practices. Attachment often manifests as clinging to people, to their approval, or to the roles they play in our lives. However, genuine connection arises when we release these expectations and allow others to be their authentic selves. Example of a parent and child. A parent who constantly pressures their child to achieve high grades or excel in specific activities may unintentionally create stress and resentment. However, a parent who supports their child's unique path, whether it leads to academic excellence, creative pursuits, or something unexpected, fosters a healthier, more trusting bond. By letting go of rigid expectations, the parent and child can both experience greater freedom and joy. The key lesson: non-attachment in relationships doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care deeply while respecting the other person's journey. It's about offering love, support, and presence without trying to control the outcome. Practical steps to practice non-attachment. 1. Identify your attachments. Start by reflecting on areas where you feel resistance or stress. Are you clinging to a specific outcome at work, in a relationship, or in your personal goals? Awareness is the first step to letting go. 2. Reframe your mindset. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, shift your focus to the actions you can take right now. For example, if you're working on a big project, immerse yourself in the task at hand rather than obsessing over the end result. 3. Practice mindfulness. Regular mindfulness meditation can help you cultivate a sense of presence and detach from obsessive thoughts. Even a few minutes a day can make a difference. 4. Embrace impermanence. Remind yourself that everything in life is temporary, both joys and sorrows. This perspective can help you appreciate the present moment without clinging to it. 5. Celebrate the journey. Instead of measuring success by outcomes, celebrate the effort, growth, and lessons along the way. Every step, no matter how small, is part of your evolution. The story of the potter. In one of the monk's teachings, he shared the story of a potter who sought to create the perfect vase. The more he fixated on perfection, the more his work seemed flawed. Frustrated, the potter decided to abandon his pursuit and simply enjoy the process of shaping clay. To his surprise, his vases became more beautiful than ever. By letting go of the outcome, he unlocked a natural flow that brought forth his best work. This story holds profound wisdom for all creative endeavors. Whether you're an artist, writer, or entrepreneur, the act of surrendering to the process can lead to unexpected breakthroughs. It's not about lowering your standards, but about releasing the mental blocks that arise from overstriving. It may seem counterintuitive, but non-attachment often leads to greater success. When we let go of rigid expectations, we approach challenges with an open mind and a sense of curiosity. This mindset allows us to see possibilities we might otherwise overlook. A young entrepreneur once faced a major setback when her startup failed. Instead of clinging to the idea of salvaging her company, she chose to step back, reflect, and pivot to a new venture. This willingness to let go of her original vision allowed her to build a far more successful business. Her secret? She viewed failure not as an endpoint, but as part of the journey. If these lessons resonate with you, why not take a moment to reflect on your own life? Are there areas where you could benefit from letting go? Perhaps it's a goal you've been chasing tirelessly, a relationship that feels strained, or a self-imposed standard of perfection. Whatever it may be, consider how non-attachment could bring you greater peace and clarity. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Buddhism in Modern Life, for more insights and stories that can inspire transformation in your everyday life. By joining our community, you'll gain access to practical wisdom and timeless teachings that make Buddhism relevant in today's world. Simply click the subscribe button below and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. As we conclude this segment, let these lessons settle in like seeds planted in fertile soil. In the final part, we'll bring everything together, exploring how to integrate non-attachment into every aspect of your life, from work to relationships to personal growth. We'll also address some common misconceptions and challenges, ensuring you have a comprehensive understanding of this transformative practice. Stay tuned for the conclusion of this journey into the art of letting go. As the elder monks' teachings began to spread, the temple turned into a sanctuary not only for monks, but for people from all walks of life. Scholars, farmers, merchants, and even rulers visited to learn the profound wisdom of letting go. The lessons, though rooted in simplicity, were transformative, touching the deepest corners of their hearts and inspiring remarkable change. Let us now reflect on the key lessons this journey of non-attachment has gifted us and explore how they can resonate in our own lives. Lesson 1. The Paradox of Surrender. Throughout this tale, we've seen that the harder the young monk or others clung to their desires, whether for peace, perfection, or success, the farther away these goals seemed to slip. Yet, when they stopped grasping and focused on the present, outcomes unfolded naturally. This paradox echoes across countless life scenarios. In relationships, those who demand constant validation often push their loved ones away. On the other hand, those who love selflessly and trust the natural course of the bond often build stronger, lasting connections. In careers, think of artists, like the potter from the earlier story. The more he fixated on perfection, the more flawed his creations became. But when he embraced joy and playfulness in his craft, beauty found him. This truth isn't about passivity or resignation. It's about aligning with life's natural rhythm. The same way a bird trusts its wings to carry it through the sky, we too must trust our efforts and the universe's timing. Take a moment today to release the mental weight you're carrying. Identify one area where you're gripping too tightly, be it an expectation at work, a strained relationship, or a personal goal. Ask yourself, what would happen if I let go of control? Could I embrace the process instead of clinging to the result? Lesson 2. Growth through struggle. The butterfly emerging from its cocoon remains one of the most profound metaphors from the monk's journey. He realized that, just as the butterfly needs its struggle to gain strength, our struggles forge our resilience and character. Every moment of discomfort or failure is an opportunity to evolve. Without challenges, there would be no growth. But the key lies in viewing struggles as stepping stones, not barriers. J.K. Rowling, author of Harry Potter, faced rejection from 12 publishers before achieving success. Instead of clinging to despair, she trusted her craft, persisted, and eventually created one of the most beloved literary worlds. How often do we curse the very struggles that shape us? Whether it's a difficult job, a tough decision, or a personal loss, these moments carry hidden gifts, lessons we can only uncover by staying patient and present. The next time you face a struggle, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" shift the question to, "What is this teaching me?" Reflect on a past challenge you've overcome. How did it prepare you for where you are today? Lesson 3. Trusting life's timing. One of the hardest truths to accept is that we are not in control of everything. Just as the farmer couldn't summon rain by sheer will, we too cannot force life to align with our timelines. The elder monk's analogy of the tree is particularly poignant. You plant the seed, water it, and trust the earth to do its work. In time, the tree grows, not because you forced it, but because you allowed nature to take its course. Think about those who achieve their dreams later in life. Colonel Sanders started KFC at age 65. Vera Wang designed her first wedding dress at age 40. Their stories remind us that success doesn't follow a fixed schedule. It arrives when the moment is right. Instead of rushing to fix everything in your life, practice patience. Begin a small project, hobby, or practice that requires time, whether it's gardening, journaling, or learning a new skill. Notice how trust in the process can lead to unexpected joy. The culmination of wisdom. The elder monk's final years were marked by a profound serenity. His students often marveled at how effortlessly he navigated life, unburdened by attachment, yet fully engaged with the world. When asked how he achieved such peace, his response was always the same. Peace isn't something you chase, it's something you uncover within yourself. In his final teachings, the elder monk summarized the essence of non-attachment in 3 principles. 1. Engage fully. Live life wholeheartedly, pouring your energy into the present moment without obsessing over outcomes. 2. Release expectations. Trust that your efforts will bear fruit in their own time, and let go of the need for immediate results. 3. Embrace uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, but this very uncertainty is what makes it beautiful. Now that we've explored the power of letting go, the question arises, how can you incorporate these teachings into your own life? Start small. Choose one area where you can practice non-attachment. Perhaps it's letting go of perfectionism in your work or releasing tension in a relationship. It creates space for joy. Engage in activities that bring you happiness without tying them to a specific goal, like painting, walking in nature, or spending time with loved ones. Share the wisdom. The elder monk's journey became a ripple of transformation for those around him. As you begin to experience the freedom of letting go, share this wisdom with others. And finally, remember this: the harder you chase results, the farther they may seem. But when you surrender to the flow of life, trusting in its rhythm, everything you seek will come to you naturally. If this story has resonated with you, I invite you to join me on this journey of self-discovery and wisdom. Subscribe to Buddhism in Modern Life for more insights like these, where ancient teachings meet the challenges of our modern world. Together, let's explore how we can live with grace, freedom, and joy. Hit that subscribe button now, and let me know in the comments. What's one area of your life where you'd like to practice letting go? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, remember, trust the river of life, and it will guide you to where you're meant to be.